Hello everyone, today I'll be reviewing the 6940 Alien Moon Stalker set from the Classic Space series. This set was released in 1986 and it consists of 263 parts along with 2 Classic Space minifigs. First we'll look at the box and then we'll also review the model as well. So in the front you see the actual model. The box is relatively large and when you open the box you see the building instructions as well as some promotional materials, for instance a catalog from 1989. And this is the old box, so you see that you have some space, and in the inner part we see some alternate builds. Also at the back of the box we have some alternate builds as well. Nowadays we don't see this many alternate builds except the Creator 3-in-1s. So even the main model itself is very playable, but you can increase the playability with so many alternate models. But before going to the model, let's check the building instructions. So this one is the old-fashioned building instructions where you actually don't see which parts to use at every step. You need to guess it and you need to be careful that you don't miss any parts during each step. But anyway, it's a modular build, so you build every part of the beast separately and then combine it together, and actually you can separate them during play as well. So the building might be difficult if you are used to the current Lego way, but it's an enjoyable build and the model itself is also enjoyable to play. At the back of the box, as I mentioned, there are some alternate builds. This one is more or less the classic spacecrafts that you see in the classic space sets, but you can also build some stations or some mechs maybe. And the model itself is also like a mech, maybe dinosaur or a beast. And here is the model itself. So as you can see, the gray doesn't show its age too much. Although this one is a very old model, you only see a few discolorations here and there. Maybe if it was a white model you would see its age much more. So this looks like a beast. It's a walker actually, and it has a couple of parts, modular parts actually. And the main function of this seems to be the exploration, but we also have some missile silos in the middle. And now first start with the legs. So these legs are actually moving. It's a simple but efficient mechanism. You can see that it's simply moving in a direction. Unfortunately it doesn't rotate, but even this mechanism is really good. Then we have some printed parts here, maybe resembling air vents and the classic space logo here. And we have really nice classic space minifigs. You may know them as Benny from the Lego movie. So after the legs, let's check the head of the beast. Here we see a cockpit, we see the antenna here, and in the back we have the tail, but it also doubles as some kind of a maybe mechanism to grab stuff or take samples. And its movement, well, not so pleasant, but still it's a pretty solid build. And we have some other details. For instance, here we have some storage bins, maybe to store stuff that you took with your tail here. Then we have of course the opening windows. These are more like for air ventilation. Once you launch these missiles, we have here green and black windows. You can open them however you wish. Same on the other side as well. And if you remove the missiles, it also doubles down as a operation base or storing some stuff if you have some other classic space sets. And here are the missiles. They can just be launched, or if you wish, but there are no launch mechanisms here, so and that's it. But that's not all for the playability. You can even really put it in different modules. So for instance, here we have the head separating and becoming a craft by its own. Here we have a couple of engines and some weapons, maybe like lasers, whatever. So this one is a separate craft, and at the back we have more like an exploration vehicle here. So again, printed parts. So these prints are really nice and rare. And even this one can be separated. This is something like a beacon maybe, and here we have some additional control panels for these stuff. And again, you see some engines and some way to play with these sets. As you would expect from any classic space set, it has the spacecrafts. So this one is a now stationary module or stationary base. In overall, this set is really notable. It has high play value with the modular structure and all these moving parts. And there are so many alternate builds that you see on the box. So it's a flexible set with high playability. You have different moving parts all around, and if you combine it, the beast also looks very nice. So in terms of display, playability and building experience, I can really recommend this set, and it's one of the sets also that doesn't show its age. The only issue maybe are these levers or whatever you call them. They are not standing straight, and it's the only part where you actually see its age. But otherwise, it's one of the nicer classic space sets. So I can recommend this set to all classic space fans or anyone who wants to start collecting classic space sets. This one is a good starting point with its reasonable price and good playability. And thanks for watching. For more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram.